Thank you. Isn't it marvelous to be here today to celebrate this event? Excuse me while I put my glasses on. It is wonderful to be here today to share what is really a defining moment for our company, and particularly the international division. I have attended many of these groundbreaking ceremonies that look just like this one today. However, none are more meaningful than this one that we're participating in. Gives us such pride to see the accomplishments of Chuck Bone. Good job, Chuck. Where's he? Good job, Chuck. And the team that he has put together since about 2003, when we started with these embassy programs that he talked about. One thing he didn't mention to you, that when we awarded the 4 embassies, we didn't have any bonding to speak of, but we figured a way out to get that as well. And like the rest they say, Chuck is history. Anyway, it was in 1949 that John and Bill Harvard first established their company in a 2-story building on the 20th Avenue in English Village. Now we are embarking on a state-of-the-art facility, 62 years later, for just our international division. And as Chris has said and other people have alluded to, we've come a tremendous long way, and it's so good to see. However, I do want to mention one small thing. That is that little building that we built some time ago, they built, the Harvards, is still standing 62 years later. And so Chris and company, I hope we can say the same. I won't be able to see it. I hope we can say the same in 62 years' time, that we've done a similar robust construction process. I am not going to go through our history over these last years since the Harvard started. I mean, it would take me all afternoon to do that. However, I do want to state one thing which is immediately obvious, and that is the reason we're here today is not for anybody else except for Mr. Bill Harvard, who had Bill was a mentor to us all. He was a great leader and inspired us all. And I want to quote from a recent On-Site magazine, which said this: Bill was able to see what others could not see, and was willing to go to places that others were not willing to go to. And it is through his vision and drive that we have been given the opportunity to be a worldwide player in the construction market. Such is his legacy. Not only that, but he loved the excitement of international construction. And not only that, but he really appreciated the net worth, the people that he'd encountered throughout the world. He believed in them, and it showed up in all the jobs we did. To carry on with that theme, believe me, it was not easy to impress Bill Harvard. However, I do wish he could be here today to see what we are doing, because it's purely his legacy, and it's purely in his honor that we do this today. In fact, as was his wont, I'm sure he'd want us to keep the proceedings brief and to the point, so I'll get back to the main point of our meeting today. We are building a brand new facility today, like Chuck says, a state-of-the-art facility. But it is not the building that defines the company, it's the people who are inside the building, forming part of this company, that define who we are. There have been many ups and downs in the Harvard story, a lot of good times and bad times. But through it all, we've had a strong group of employees who supported the Harvards, no matter what the situation. And this enabled us to have the foundation on which to build on what we're talking about today. And I just wanted to recognize some of those stalwarts, as I call them, of the company who've been with us all that time, through all the different companies and all the different situations, particularly one guy called Alf Hill. In the year 2000, in a generational shift, the mantle of Harvard construction was passed to B.L. Harbert International LLC under the stewardship of Billy Harbert. It was by so doing that it almost felt like that the construction lessons we'd learned over the previous 50 years were all distilled and incorporated into one company, a very effective, very cohesive construction company. It was like we took all those lessons and said, okay, now we know this is what we're going to do. None of this is more evident than what the International Group has been able to do. We had the firm base on which to build, but we needed the leadership, the vision, and excitement in the leadership. And we've seen what's happened since the new group was put together in 2003. New leaders have emerged throughout our company and have seized on the new operating philosophy that we have, the new plan we have, and have really shown us the way. And I also want to recognize all these leaders. You know who you are. I can't mention you all, too many to mention. And the whole company knows who you are. But we are really, really indebted to you. And to you, we tip our hats today and say thank you very much. And just to recognize some of those leaders who've emerged in our company. Not only that, but all the employees that have supported them willingly throughout these years. So I think I would just like a little a round of applause for everyone today, if you don't mind. We love you guys, okay? Okay, now, I can't just leave it like that, okay? I just can't. Without saying to us fellas, ladies and gentlemen, we've achieved a lot, but let us not become complacent. Let us not rest on our laurels and think we've achieved nirvana. We've achieved it. We haven't. We're still on an exploratory process. We're still getting better every day. In fact, I believe, and I'm firmly convinced that our best years are still ahead of us. And it will fall to each and every one of us in this room to keep encouraging one another, believing in one another, and trusting one another, so that we form a wonderful team that will carry the B.L. Harbert name way out into the future and give us the ability and the confidence to continue to build a better way. Thank you very much. Yeah. I now get the opportunity in front of everyone to introduce our next speaker, who I think you know about. He already popped up out of his chair, so I had to sit him down again, because I want to say a couple of things about him. Okay. Let me just share something with you. We didn't really know what we expected when we all signed on with B.L. Harbert International in the year 2000. We didn't know what Billy was going to be like. We knew what Bill was like. We really didn't know what Billy was going to be like. And let me tell you what I've discovered over these years. Working closely with Billy, I found someone who trusts and supports our people and constantly recognizes their worth, no matter what station in their company. I found someone who's totally passionate about this sometimes crazy construction business we're in. He loves it. Sometimes I just don't know why, but he loves it and so do I. And really as someone that I've come to rely on, as he's supported all our efforts through these years and charted our course forward. I think the same personality traits that I've just outlined could also apply equally to Mr. Harbert. And I think if he was here today, he'd be very, very proud of his son, the man for whom our company is named, and our next speaker, Billy Harbert.